people will start disappearing if they haven't already.
They already are.
So yeah, it's a crazy country we live in. Now the GMOs are bad enough, but that BT and the Roundup Ready that's also in the plants, they bother everybody in here because it affects your immune system, your guts, and it tears your guts apart, and you start leaking, have the leaky gut syndrome. What? Exactly. Well, that's Monsanto came up with Agent Orange. So I don't know. I mean, Monsanto has come up with every basically chemical that has killed everything in the world. So I mean, the effects are outrageous. I mean, leukemia has been studied, and they think that is also caused the rise of leukemia in the country because of GMOs in the crops.
Oh, yeah.
Asthma, allergies, yeah.
Autoimmune disorders.
Exactly. Infertility, you name it.
Cancer is now the #1 leading death for children.
Cancer, #1 leading death in children. That's a good one to bring up. Cancer. How many of you have been to a cancer treatment center lately? Taken a loved one or whatever? My mother fought cancer for 15 years. She had multiple myeloma, which the doctor said is for some reason a lot of farmers get it. Now that was my mother. Now my mother washed my father's clothes. Go figure. Maybe that was how she got it. It's supposed to be a rare cancer, but yet the gentleman down the road just a quarter of a mile also got the same thing.
My grandma had it.
Your grandmother has it. My mother was given a 50-50 chance of living 5 years. She made it to 15 years. She just got tired. She gave up. And I don't blame her. It was a knocker. Man, I'll tell you. But I took her to the doctor a lot. And every time we went to the doctor, it seemed like every 2 years, the cancer center grew. Pretty soon, the room she was going to at first was a small room, and then it grew a little larger. And then before she died, the 15 years, the center was bigger, probably than 3 or 4 times the size of this building right here. Just the office where the patients went. So cancer is a big business. I know it's connected with the food we eat. Has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people died of cancer years ago. People died of unknown reasons years ago. Nothing. How many people's grandparents lived into their 90s? My grandparents lived into their 90s. My father lived to almost 90. I plan on living to be 100.
That's right.
I hope. My daughter, last Father's Day, we went out to lunch, and my daughter, I said, can we make a date in 50 years? Because that'd be 100. She says, no. She doesn't quite understand. She was only 6 at the time. And then she said, okay. But, there's no reason we can't live to be 100, but we got to take care of ourselves. We got to feed ourselves. We got to grow food that's healthy for us. We got to buy from farmers. Oh, and I wore my special T-shirt just for you guys today. A friend of mine, I got a
Who's your farmer?
This was given to me by one of my milk customers. And they lovingly refer to me as their farmer. And they, you can go to the store and you can buy milk or you can buy groceries, you can buy produce, you can buy whatever. Do those cashiers, the managers care what you're doing? No. All they care about is that money that's going through the cash register. When you come to my farm to buy milk or whatever from me, beef, pork, whatever, I care about that. I would not sell you a product that I wouldn't consume myself.
Amen.
And everybody's thinking, oh, farmers are always the bad guy. They're not always the bad guy. They are taught to use what Monsanto, whoever tells them to use. Now, exactly. And we don't get any farm program money either. We stopped taking that years ago. We didn't amount to anything anyway, so I said, heck with it. And you have to basically listen to everything they tell you to do at the farm program. So they would govern to me what I could and couldn't do on my farm. Most farmers in our area make more off the farm program than I make for a living off of my farm. I had one guy one day, he said he overheard a big farmer, and they were a big farmer. He said he couldn't figure out what to do with the second payment that he was receiving that year. I thought, wow, boy, that I can't figure out what to do. I put some new roads on some buildings. But it's tough making a living when you're a small farmer. Everything that we buy is expensive. And we do, my newest tractor is 40 years old. 40 years old. I've got some machinery for my horse equipment, it's probably 100 years old, but it still works. I work pretty much. I pretty much farmed the same way my grandfather did. My dad, he was kind of ahead of his time. He liked the new gadgets, the new gizmos, and then I came along. And when I was small, I'd probably say 10, 12 maybe, my dad would always put in a large corn patch, and he'd go out and he'd spray it. And I finally got, Dad, don't do that anymore. And he'd go, why? I said, well, we need that. And I said, you spray that, and it gets in the corn. And he finally saw the light. And he quit spraying corn. So it was a slow process, but you have to keep persuading people to do that. And I have a lot of farmers tell me, well, I plant GMO corn because that's the only thing there is to plant. Well, it's not, but it is hard to find for some people. But a dumb old farmer like me, I planted all non-GMO corn this year, didn't have a problem finding it, and it was actually cheap. Organic, non-GMO corn was cheaper than GMO corn.